Brian, thank you so much for agreeing to give us your testimonial with respect to your experience here at our center. I just wanted to ask you to tell us a brief story of how you ended up coming to us. What were some of your symptoms, some of the issues, some of the real life things that you were experiencing that led to you seeking help with us?
Well, for as long as I can remember, I just had a tremendous amount of difficulty paying attention to things. And I realized as I started to just kind of take a little bit more interest in, ADHD, and I realized that, well, one of the things I can do now in the age of YouTube is, even though reading is kind of very, very difficult for me, if I couldn't visualize something, I couldn't really absorb it. But I started watching some ADHD YouTube videos, and I was able to kind of pay a little bit more attention to that and learn a little bit more about it. One of the things I learned was that it's not just about attention. A lot of it has to do with executive function and ability to kind of be the CEO part of your brain that is able to organize things.
Can you give us some examples of what executive function is and how it has now changed your life, and how you were before, how you are now?
As I understand it, executive function is essentially the ability to kind of organize and manage and plan, and kind of like it's described as kind of like the CEO part of your brain, the overseer, and kind of project for things and set goals and have several kind of things going at once and seeing how they kind of intertwine. So by the time I kind of put the whole idea of executive function in together with attention and realized that it was having a very tangible effect on a relationship that was very important to me, I started thinking like, all right, well, you know what, let's do something about this. Let's see what just because medication isn't an option, let's see what other kind of, I was thinking more like cognitive therapy or something. Let's see what's out there. Let's do some work on it.
Yeah, speaking of which, so there are other options that people know about with respect to treatment of attention deficit disorder, depression, bipolar depression, and those options often include medications or cognitive behavioral therapy. What was it that we offered here, and how was that beneficial to you in comparison to the traditional medication therapy type options?
Well, many of especially with Adderall, which was the only thing I had taken that I had noticed had any kind of an effect on me. Once that was no longer an option, it was really like there was no effective medication option. So in some ways, it was kind of an advantage that I didn't have an easy out, because that's kind of what most people think of. But yeah, what I've noticed since going through the neuro treatment is that life just seems a lot more manageable. It's hard to describe, but I mean, it certainly has an effect on your self-esteem and your confidence. If you feel like I can't, you feel like kind of an eternal dependent on others. When I was actually, long before I had any idea I had any kind of ADHD symptom, when I was in college, I actually went through a really severe, near suicidal depression, because I felt like I can't manage my life. I can't be any good to anybody. And it's been a really dramatic, difference, because not only do I feel like I'm capable of managing my life now, it's kind of exciting. I was like, wow, let's go out and do this. I don't have to force myself.
So you also mentioned that you were suffering from, at least in the past, some depression, and even had suicidal thoughts in the past. Yeah. Can you tell our viewers what were the treatments that you had? Can you tell us about TMS and neurofeedback?
Well, yes, I had TMS and neurofeedback, and I noticed, that's when I think I noticed a difference with that first, because of the sequence I had daily treatments with that. And so after just like about a week and a half, I really noticed a big difference in my mood. The entire treatment for the TMS was 10 sessions, which was done over 2 weeks. I noticed definitely a difference after the first week, and then after the second week, it was more dramatic. The neurofeedback treatment was spaced out a little bit more, 2 sessions a week over 5 weeks.
What are the side effects of the treatments, if any, and how does this treatment that you had, the TMS and neurofeedback, compare to medications which you were on in the past?
Well, it certainly worked a lot faster and more dramatic. I have not noticed if there are side effects. I certainly haven't been noticed any myself. Obviously it's still fairly new to me, so I can't attest to the fact that it's been 5 years and I haven't noticed any degradation whatsoever. That was one of the big, when I had my laser eye surgery, that was one of the first things
Yep.
they said is, oh, this is new, we don't know how long it's going to last, hopefully it'll last
Yeah.
forever. Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
last forever, at least not back in the 90s.
You know there are people out there that may be experiencing similar things. Any words of wisdom from now that you've experienced the NeuroSpa treatment? Any words of wisdom for them, and any lasting words?
I would just really encourage everyone to have a real open mind about this if they're interested, and if they feel like they would like to make their life better, and they've felt stuck in and I mean, it doesn't have to be just in the same way that I felt stuck. It could be anything. It's just, I'm certainly going to be recommending this treatment to pretty much anyone I can think of, because I feel like that's kind of my job. If I had found out about this, I know it's a very recent treatment, but if this had existed 20 years ago and somebody had recommended it to me, I would have been like indebted to them for life.